Okay, week 5, and we're doing our ELA pre-lesson deliverable. Again, it's a short week. We have a field trip on Friday, Monday, and Tuesday are testing. So, oh, and Wednesday we still need to finish Wonder. We're actually going to block out, I think, Thursday to work on some Y questions and introduce ADE writing. So there's a bit of a pivot because we're having to. We really want to get into ADE, and we're going to talk about the cycle exam on Thursday, but then also we want to run back a little bit of instruction that was missed and introduce how to write the ADE paragraph. So anyway, that leaves just a little bit of new instruction. If you remember last week's video, I went through the ADE process. So it would be redundant for me to practice that again this week, so I'm just sticking with the word ups because we have a vocab test coming and I would like to get a little repetition with these words and see where my mind takes me before we get into it as a class. So Wednesday's word of the day will be inherit. The word of the day is inherit. Let's have somebody read the advice. Follow inherit with a noun. Example, she inherited her father's deep blue eyes. So in this instance we see someone inheriting a physical trait, a physical characteristic. And you're going to learn a lot about this in science this year, that we get our physical characteristics, a lot of them, for many of us, from our parents, perhaps even grandparents. People who come from a tall family, there's a good chance they're going to be tall because they inherit that trait. People who have dark hair, oftentimes that dark hair is inherited from their parents. My parents were both blonde. It's funny how their hair has changed over time. I hope mine doesn't, but I inherited my blonde hair from my parents. Let's look at another example. Miss Jimenez inherited her brown eye color from her father. Her brother Jose, however, inherited his eye color from their mother. So we can inherit different traits from different people. But again, it's passed down genetically by family members. Can anybody use the word inherit to describe a physical characteristic that they have received from their family? Hopefully somebody says they've inherited their eye color or their hair color or their size from a family member. Next sentence. When her grandfather passed away, Amanda inherited his baseball card collection. So this is a different usage of the word. It still means the same thing because it means that something is being passed down from one person to another. However, this is not a physical characteristic. This is a baseball card collection. Raise your hand if you have an older sibling. Okay, now raise your hand if you have an older sibling and when your older sibling grew out of their clothes, you got to wear those clothes. Okay, that's an instance of you inheriting your older sibling's clothes. Who can share a sentence about a clothing item that they have inherited from an older sibling? Hopefully that works. Which of the following is most likely the definition? It is B. To inherit is to receive something from someone who had it previously. Part of speech we've been really struggling with. I really hope that we hit that this is a verb. It's an action. I think that one byproduct of us not doing this every morning has been that we are still very iffy with nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. It hasn't been the unison of boom, boom, clapping that I was hoping for. So we'll get into that, but hopefully people will make progress, and that is a neutral word. Next word of the day is sacrifice. The word of the day is sacrifice. Read the advice. Do follow sacrifice with a noun. The example sentence states, I sacrificed my time to help you prepare for your exam. Yes, that means giving up your time. To sacrifice in that instance is to give something away that you can't get back. That's making a sacrifice. Next example sentence. Miss Papa sacrificed some of her personal time to support a friend in need of advice. Again, giving up time, that is a sacrifice. Any time that you give up some time for somebody else, you're making a sacrifice because you could have used that time for anything you wanted to. Next example, Mr. Collado was next in line for ice cream, but when he saw Brianna needed help, he sacrificed his place in line to support her. Again, it's giving up on something that you could have in order to help somebody. Sacrificing usually is used as a way of describing someone offering help to someone else. You sacrifice for the benefit of someone else. We sacrifice our time to help somebody else. Maybe you will sacrifice part of your lunch to give to somebody who is hungry. That is all. In each instance, we are offering help. So which of the following is most likely the definition of the word sacrifice is used in the examples? It's not A, it's not B, it is C. To sacrifice is to give help or assistance to someone or something. So, if we sacrifice something, then we're doing something, so it is a verb. However, it's also true that we could say that we make a sacrifice. Now, in that instance, make would be the verb. We make a sacrifice. So what would sacrifice then become? It would then become a noun. So sacrifice can be used as a noun or a verb. You can either make a sacrifice, in which case it will be a noun, or you can sacrifice something, in which case it will be a verb. It just depends on how you use the word in a sentence as to whether or not it's a noun or a verb. What's the connotation of the word? It is positive. Boom, boom, clap for A, because we value helping others and giving up something so that another person can have a better experience is a good, positive thing, we believe.